Hey guys, James here today, and we're going to be taking a quick breakdown look at the Sims 3 Island Paradise trailer. If you haven't seen it already, I suggest you go and watch it first. Get a look at it, it's really cool, but we're going to go into detail on what's happening in each kind of shot, and kind of cool things that I've noticed in the trailer. Okay, so let's back this up to the beginning of the trailer, and we'll take a closer look at the first few scenes. Okay, here we are at the opening scene of the trailer. Right here you can see at the back we have this big kind of islander statue, and we get a closer, or a semi-closer look at it a bit later. Down in the water we can see a small sailboat, and we can also see someone windsurfing there. Down in the foreground you can obviously see the speedboat as well, and the houseboat, and just coming in at the right, just peeking in, is another little sailboat. So hopefully this means that the waters aren't dead, that there's people actually moving around on the water, and it seems to be quite active. So if we move forward a bit now, and we get the shot of the jet ski coming across the front here, we can see another type of water travel, which I think here on the left, I believe is some sort of paddling boat, that you can go around the water on. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it looks like a paddle boat. And you can see all the mooring posts as well for each of the sort of water vehicles. So you can see the jet ski is moored up there, and then the paddle boat is right here in the front. And you can see along the beach here, there's actually a little awning type of thing, and we see that a lot in this trailer. It's used a lot, so you'll get a closer look at it later as well. So if we move forward now to the next scene, we can see the sailboat coming straight across the front, and again you can see that sort of islander statue in the back. I'm not 100% sure on what style it's based off of. I tried to look it up, but I couldn't really make my mind up. And in the background, you can see that sort of colourful house, which you can actually see a few scenes back as well. And that is just kind of typical islander, sort of Caribbean, colourful kind of house style. So that's really nice to see in there as well. Moving ahead into the next scene now, we see someone water skiing, which is really cool. And if we take a look at the boat here that's pulling her as well, we can see that there's actually a lot of seats in it. So I'm thinking maybe about 5 Sims could possibly go in it. I don't know if they actually will be able to, but it looks like there's around room for 5 people to sit in there, which is really cool to see. And if we move forward now, we obviously get sort of a close-up shot of her water skiing, and she's failing a bit, which is always fun to see. Now moving forward, we get to see the construction of a houseboat, which is really interesting as well. The first thing we see here, you can see at the very back is the all-in-one bathroom, which they actually showed us in the live stream a while ago. At the front there, you can see like a gas lamp hanging up there. We get to see a closer shot of that later as well. Stepping forward here, we can see a new door, which is kind of, it's a slatted wooden door, which is really cool to see. And some new windows. And I think that's a new bed. It looks like one. I'm not 100% on furniture in The Sims 3, so I apologize if that's... I'm fairly sure it's new though, so I'm quite confident to say that. Moving forward, we can again see the awning item, which is over the dining table there on the upper deck. And then on the roof, you can see the awning again over the 4 seats, which is really cool. You can also see all the new doors, and well, not all the new doors, but new doors and new windows here as well. And you can see the interesting way they've roofed it. I don't think there's anything new with the roofing though. That looks like something you could do now as well. So stepping forward here, on the left, I thought this was really interesting. They have got ladders in The Sims 3 now, which is really cool. You do see another shot of a ladder later on in the trailer as well. But you can see he's fishing right up the side here, and the ladder right behind him, which is awesome. Stepping forward again, you can see the command console or whatever it was called, I can't remember, but where they can steer the boat. You can put that anywhere on your houseboat so they can drive it around. Down on the bottom, well not, the top left, you can see the gas lamp again right there. And then you get a closer shot of the awning item covering the table. You can also see that they're sitting on a new little bench type of thing, which is kind of 2 surfboard shapes. You see that again later, and you can also see on the deck there behind the dining table are 2 eskies, or coolers as some of you might know them as. So again, stepping forward here, we get to see a shot of scuba diving, and looking at the seafloor of the shot, judging by this, I hope it's seriously going to be this detailed, because this is amazing. Look at the detailing of that, it looks beautiful, it's so colourful as well. And you can see there's like a cannon in there as well, so it's like you got all the post-war kind of things sunken in the ocean, which is really cool. And a chest, and a few broken pots and all that kind of thing. Moving forward again here, we get a shot of the nice undersea area right here, and you can see there's sea life down here. There's a fish swimming on the left, there's a big clamshell thing right there, who knows if that opens or not. On the right you can see like a sunken ship, you can see a bathtub there, a chest which is probably filled with unspeakable treasures, and it just looks really, really awesome. It's so detailed, and I really hope that a lot of the islands look like this. Stepping forward here again, we can see a shark that is swimming straight across the screen, which is really awesome, which means there's more than just fish swimming around in the oceans. And you can see those tentacles flailing around out of that little cave, which I think that cave, by the looks of it later on, is just kind of a rabbit hole thing, kind of like the catacombs that you explore at the graveyard or something like that. Stepping it forward here, we get a nice shot of the beach right here, covered in shells, which is really cool, which means I guess it would be collectible. And you can also see the speedboat is moored in the background there. A guy is swimming right next to it, and this guy's stroking his chin like nobody's business. We again get to see the building of a new house. This one's really interesting because this is on the new foundation, which is a stilted foundation, which can obviously go over water, as you can see in this shot. Other than that, there's nothing too new about this house that I can see right off the bat. I mean, there's a few new items, like there's the same windows, I think, from the houseboat. You can also see the ladder there on the side to get up to the upper deck, which also looks like it goes over the half wall, actually, which is really quite interesting. And then on the beach there on the right, you can see the jet skis parked on top of a trailer, which I assume would just be some sort of decorative item. And you can also see some eskies that are submerged in the sand. And that sailboat actually seems to be up on the beach, which is quite interesting as well. And you can see the awning item again on the deck here, covering the little seat to keep them out of the sun. Moving on, we get a nice shot here of this beach, which is super busy. You can see there's beach towels and beach umbrellas everywhere. You can see those little surfboard benches again. And there, on kind of in the center at the top, you can see that little sort of bar there on the beach, which is kind of looks like margaritas or something like that. I doubt it would actually be that, but it's some sort of drink. And if we move along here, we can see a nice shot of a mother helping her child learn to swim or something similar to that, which is really nice. And you can see the lifeguard in the center of the screen there. He's looking out, he's watching. And just here, what I thought was really interesting as well is that little bottle on the beach that has a little note in it. Hopefully this will be interactable, and maybe they even give challenges or something, or maybe it's a treasure map. That could be really interesting if it was some sort of treasure map you could follow around the islands to try and discover. It's like some really cool things hidden around. Moving on here, you can see the lifeguards helping out this guy who didn't know how to swim, and he was drowning. And you can see that bottle again on the beach right there. And these two ladies standing there, I don't even know what they're doing. They're just kind of looking around, having a good time. And in the background, you can see the sort of the little bar again with the little margarita blender there. Moving forward, we get a shot of the resort, or a resort. And one thing that struck me as really weird is that it looks like a rabbit hole, but it can't be because we know it's not. I don't know, the windows don't look like windows to me, but that's just me speaking. You can see all the awnings again covering up the benches, and you can see the water slide, which you get a better look at later. So if we move forward here, we can see a pool bar, which is really cool, swim up pool bar. You can get all your drinks and all that kind of stuff, which is really awesome. Moving on, we got a pool fountain, which is really cool. I've always wanted one of these, and we have the fountain tool, but I think this is really cool in its own right as well. This guy's swimming underneath it for some reason. Don't know why. Moving forward, we get a nice shot of the water slide here, and you get again see the awning in the background there. Moving forward, we get some sort of luau type of scene, which is kind of weird because it's kind of luau-y, kind of not, some sort of island party going on here. And you can see the Mermaid sign right there and the gas lamp in the foreground and that little bar again just on the left. And people dancing, having a good time, walking across hot coals and all that kind of stuff. Now, what I found really interesting about this shot here, where the guy's walking across coals, in the background on the right, you can see this giant structure. And I don't know what that is. I was trying to figure it out. I have no idea. It looks like some sort of giant modern skyscraper sitting there. I just have no idea what it is. It's maybe some sort of luxurious resort. Because it seems like they're at some sort of resort having a good time here. If we move forward again to this shot here, just before we cut away to the mermaids, you can see it again in the background, but you don't get a good enough look at it because it's pretty much quickly covered up by the mermaid sign, which is a shame. But you can see everyone here on the island having a good time, the lifeguard in the background, the guy that almost drowned, all those people are there. And then we finally finish off with this beautiful shot of the mermaid swimming out as the moon is rising. So obviously mermaids are confirmed, we know they're there. But that's the end of this breakdown, guys. Hopefully this kind of pointed out some things you may have missed or rose some interesting ideas. But thanks for watching. I'm James, and have a great day.